it begins before the sun. In the far northeast corner of Europe, where the Baltic Sea meets a shoreline of granite and pine, a nation of 5.5 million people is waking up. Quietly, without fanfare, without noise. This is Finland, the happiest country on earth, 7 years in a row. And if you are arriving here for the first time, you might not understand why. The winter darkness stretches for months. The language is one of the hardest on the planet to learn. The people do not small talk. They do not fill silence with noise. They do not chase attention. And yet, by nearly every measure that matters, they live better than almost anyone else on Earth. The question is not whether Finland is happy. The question is why. Over the next 20 minutes, we are going to live one full day inside this country, from the first light hitting Helsinki's market square to the last sauna steam rising into the Arctic night. We will wake with the fishermen in the Turku archipelago. We will work alongside engineers in Espoo. We will eat in the home kitchens of Oulu. We will stand inside a classroom in Tampere, where children are taught differently than anywhere else in the world. And we will walk through forests so vast and silent that they change the way you think about being alone. This is not a travel guide. This is not a greatest hits reel. This is how people actually live here, across cities, villages, frozen lakes, and the deep silence of the Finnish interior. And by the time the sun sets, you may find yourself asking a question far more personal than you expected. What would my life look like if I lived this way? Finland is not what most people picture when they think of Europe. There are no Alps, no Mediterranean coastline, no dense urban corridors stretching endlessly into the horizon. Instead, Finland is a country carved by ice. 10,000 years ago, glaciers retreated and left behind a landscape that still feels unfinished, as if nature is still deciding what it wants to be. The numbers tell a story that is hard to believe. 188,000 lakes. That is more than any other country on Earth relative to its size. 3 million saunas. More than the total number of cars on Finnish roads. Forests cover 75% of the land, making Finland the most forested country in Europe. And in the far north, above the Arctic Circle, the sun does not set for 73 consecutive days in summer. And in winter, it does not rise for 51. This geography does not just shape the postcards, it shapes the people. In the east, Lake Saimaa stretches across 4,000 square kilometers, a labyrinth of water and islands so complex that even locals navigate it by memory rather than by map. This is where Finland breathes, where summer cottages sit on rocky shores with no running water and no neighbors for miles, where the only sound at midnight is a loon calling across the water. Travel north, past the city of Rovaniemi, and the landscape shifts. The lakes freeze. The pine trees thin out. The ground becomes tundra, stark, windswept, and deeply quiet. This is Lapland, home to the Sami, Europe's only recognized indigenous people who have herded reindeer across these lands for centuries. In January, temperatures drop to -30 degrees Celsius. The snowpack reaches chest height. And yet, life continues. Schools open, buses run, children play outside. The cold is not an emergency here, it is simply the weather. To the west, along the Gulf of Bothnia near the city of Vasa, the Kvarken archipelago is rising out of the sea, literally. The land here lifts by nearly 1 centimeter every year, a process called post-glacial rebound. Islands that were underwater a generation ago are now dry land. The map of Finland is being redrawn in real time, not by politics, but by the planet itself. This is the environment that frames Finnish life. Not hostile, not gentle, simply honest. The land does not pretend to be something it is not, and neither do the people who live on it. Morning comes slowly in Finland, especially in winter, when sunrise can be as late as 9:30 in Helsinki and closer to 11 in the north. The rhythm of the day is different here. There is no rush, not because people are lazy, but because rushing does not make sense when the world outside is frozen and dark. A typical morning in Tampere, Finland's third largest city, begins with coffee. Finns drink more coffee per person than any other country on earth. 12 kilograms per year, 4 to 5 cups a day. It is not a luxury, it is a ritual. The coffee is light roast, usually filtered, always consumed slowly. Nobody walks down the street with a paper cup. Coffee is for sitting, for pausing, for looking out the window at the frozen lake and saying nothing at all. After coffee, the city moves, but it moves quietly. Buses arrive on time to the second. Bicycle lanes, ploughed even in heavy snow, carry thousands of commuters even in -20 degrees. Finnish children, some as young as 7, walk themselves to school alone. This is not negligence, it is trust. Finland is one of the safest countries in the world, and independence is taught early. In Espoo, just west of Helsinki, the morning looks different. Office towers rise above the trees, housing some of Europe's most successful technology companies. Nokia was born here. Supercell, the gaming company behind Clash of Clans, operates from an office that feels more like a library than a corporate headquarters. Employees arrive between 8 and 9. There is no dress code, no hierarchy expressed through corner offices. The CEO sits at the same type of desk as the newest intern. Lunch is at 11:30, early by most standards, because in Finland, eating early is efficient, and efficiency matters. Further east, in Joensuu, near the Russian border, daily life moves at a different speed. Here, logging trucks rumble through town on their way to the mills. Forestry is still a major employer, and many families have worked in the same industry for 3 generations. The workday starts at 7. Lunch is a hearty soup at a staff canteen. By 4 in the afternoon, the work is done. The rest of the day belongs to family, to hobbies, to the forest. There is a pattern here, a deliberate boundary between work and life. The Finnish day is structured so that by late afternoon, the professional self is put away and the private self begins. A Finnish home is not designed to impress, it is designed to function. In Kuopio, a city surrounded by lakes in the heart of the country, many families live in apartment buildings that, from the outside, look unremarkable. Concrete facades, clean lines, nothing flashy. But step inside and the design reveals itself. Heated bathroom floors, triple glazed windows that hold back the -30 winter, a drying cabinet above the sink, a uniquely Finnish invention, where wet gloves and hats are warm and dry by morning. The most important room in many homes is not the living room, it is the sauna. Even in apartment buildings, saunas are standard. Families sauna together, usually on Saturday evenings, in a tradition that stretches back thousands of years. It is not about luxury, it is about equality. In the sauna, everyone is the same. No titles, no status, just heat and silence and the occasional splash of water on the stones. Finnish families are small by global standards. 1 or 2 children is the norm, but the support system around those children is vast. Parents receive nearly 11 months of paid parental leave, split between the mother and father. Fathers taking extended leave is not unusual, it is expected. You see them everywhere in cities like Oulu, pushing strollers through the snow, gathering in public libraries, attending government-funded playgroups. In the old wooden town of Porvoo, an hour east of Helsinki, family life has a different texture. Here, some families have lived in the same houses for 4 generations. Red ochre cottages with white window frames line cobblestone streets. Gardens produce rhubarb and potatoes in the short summer months. Grandparents live nearby, not in the same house necessarily, but close enough to walk. Multi-generational proximity is common in Finland, not out of obligation, but out of choice. The Finnish home, whether an apartment in Kuopio or a cottage in Porvoo, shares something universal. It is a place of quiet, of retreat, of comfort carved out of an uncompromising climate. Finns do not just live in their homes. They restore themselves there. Finnish food is not famous. There is no global chain of Finnish restaurants, no dish that has conquered the world. And that, in a strange way, is the point. Finnish cuisine never left Finland because it was never designed to travel. It was designed to sustain. In Turku, the oldest city in Finland and the former capital, the morning begins at the market hall. Built in 1896, the Turun Kauppahalli is a long corridor of wooden stalls selling what the land and water provide. Vendors arrange fillets of perch and whitefish on beds of crushed ice. Baskets of chanterelles, hand-picked from forests the previous day, sit next to jars of cloudberry jam, glowing amber in the low morning light. Rye bread, dense and dark, is stacked in towers. It is the cornerstone of the Finnish diet, sour, substantial, and nutritionally complete in a way that white bread will never be. Finnish food culture is built on preservation, smoking fish, pickling vegetables, fermenting dairy. These are techniques born from necessity. When winter lasts half the year, food must last too. But they have evolved into flavors that are uniquely Finnish. Karjalan pirakka, Karelian pies, thin rye crusts filled with rice porridge and topped with egg butter, are eaten daily in schools, offices, and homes. Lohikeito, a creamy salmon soup with potatoes and dill, is the national comfort food. And then there is salmiakki, salted licorice, a candy so aggressively salty that most foreigners recoil. Finns consume it by the kilo. Culture here is not loud. It does not announce itself. In Savonlinna, a small city built around a medieval castle on a lake island, the annual opera festival draws thousands of visitors from around the world each July. It is one of the most prestigious opera events in Europe, held in the courtyard of a 15th century fortress, with the water reflecting the stage lights. But even here, the atmosphere is understated. People arrive by boat. They wear practical jackets over their evening clothes. The performance is world-class. The presentation is modest. That is the Finnish way. Culture is everywhere, but it does not need a spotlight to exist. The Finnish economy does not look like most economies. It is small, just under $300 billion, but it is efficient, innovative, and deeply egalitarian. The gap between the highest and lowest earners is among the narrowest in the world. A CEO might earn only 4 or 5 times what a factory worker earns. In some countries, that multiple is 300. In Helsinki's business districts, the workday reflects this philosophy. Hierarchies are flat. Decisions are made quickly. Meetings are short and direct. Finns do not speak to fill time. If something can be said in 3 words, it will not be said in 10. The national communication style is a mirror of the landscape. Sparse, functional, and honest. Espoo, as mentioned, is the technology heartland, but Finland's economy is not just startups and mobile games. In Vaasa, on the west coast, an energy technology cluster employs over 12,000 people. This region designs and exports power solutions, wind turbines, smart grids, electrical motors, to more than 100 countries. It is quietly one of the most important energy technology hubs in Europe, and most people outside of Finland have never heard of it. Forestry remains a foundation. Finland is one of the world's largest exporters of paper, pulp, and timber products. In the eastern regions around Lapland, entire communities are organized around the rhythm of the mills. Shift changes at 3 in the afternoon send waves of workers into the supermarkets and cafes. The work is physical. The winters are hard, but the pay is fair. The unions are strong. Nobody works without a contract. Finland's unemployment rate hovers around 7%, not perfect, but supported by one of the most comprehensive social safety nets in existence. If you lose your job, you do not lose your healthcare. You do not lose your child's education. You do not lose your home. The state catches you, not permanently, but long enough to stand back up. Let us be honest. Finnish social life, to an outsider, can feel impenetrable. People do not chat in elevators. They do not smile at strangers on the street. Small talk, the lubricant of social interaction in so many other cultures, barely exists here. And if you come from a place where warmth is expressed through words, Finland can feel cold. But that is a misunderstanding. In Jyväskylä, a university town in the Lake District, students gather in student union buildings that date back a century. They drink coffee, they debate, they sit in silence together. And that silence is not awkward, it is comfortable. Friendship in Finland is built on shared presence, not shared words. When a Finn calls you a friend, it means something. It means they have chosen to spend their limited social energy on you, and they will be loyal in a way that is rare. The traditions that bind people together are ancient and seasonal. Midsummer, Juhannus, is the most important holiday of the year. In late June, the sun barely sets at all. Entire cities empty out as Finns retreat to their summer cottages. Bonfires are lit by the water's edge. Flags are raised. The sauna is heated until the stones crackle. And for one night, the usual restraint dissolves into something freer. In winter, traditions shift indoors. In Rovaniemi, the official hometown of Santa Claus, the Christmas season is a serious affair. But it is not commercial in the way you might expect. Families visit cemeteries to light candles on the graves of ancestors, a tradition that turns every graveyard in Finland into a field of soft, flickering light on Christmas Eve. It is one of the most beautiful sights in the country, quiet, solemn, deeply moving. Then there is the sauna, not the tourist sauna, the real one. The one at the summer cottage where the stove has been heating for hours, where you sit in silence or with close friends and let the heat do its work, where you step outside into the cold, sometimes rolling in the snow, before going back in. This is not a spa treatment, it is a spiritual practice, a reset, a weekly ritual of cleansing more than the body. No country is perfect, and Finland's challenges are real. They are just quieter than most. The most obvious challenge is the darkness. In Kemi, a coastal town near the Swedish border, the sun rises at 10:30 in the morning in December and sets by 2 in the afternoon. That is 3.5 hours of daylight. Repeat that for weeks, then months. The psychological weight of this is difficult to explain. Seasonal affective disorder affects a significant portion of the population. Alcohol consumption rises in the winter months. Isolation, especially among the elderly, and especially in rural areas, is a persistent problem. Finland's suicide rate, once among the highest in Europe, has fallen dramatically over the past 30 years. But it remains a concern. The culture of stoicism, the national reluctance to burden others with personal problems, can make suffering invisible. A person can be struggling deeply, and their neighbour may never know. Finns are working to change this. Mental health services are expanding. Schools now teach emotional literacy alongside mathematics. But the cultural shift is slow. Admitting you are not okay does not come naturally here. In Oulu, the northern technology hub, another challenge is visible. The aging population. Finland is aging faster than almost any other European country. By 2030, nearly 1 in 4 Finns will be over 65. In smaller municipalities, schools are closing because there are not enough children to fill them. Healthcare systems are strained, the workforce is shrinking. Immigration, long resisted by some, is increasingly seen not as a threat, but as a necessity. Then there is the land itself. The same geography that provides forest and lake and silence also isolates. In eastern Lapland, outside the town of Savukoski, the nearest hospital can be 200 kilometers away. If your car breaks down in January at -35, your survival depends on preparation, not rescue. Finns adapt to this. They carry emergency supplies. They dress in layers. They do not take risks with the weather. But the challenge is always there, in the cold that can kill, in the darkness that can consume, in the distances that separate people from help. Finland is a country in tension with itself, not conflict, tension, the productive kind. In Helsinki's design district, young entrepreneurs work in converted warehouses, building brands that combine Nordic minimalism with cutting-edge technology. Marimekko, the textile company famous for its bold poppy prints, has its flagship store here. Next door, a startup is designing carbon-neutral furniture. Across the street, a third-wave coffee roaster serves single-origin pour-overs to customers who pay with their phones. This is modern Finland, global, connected, forward-looking. But drive 200 kilometers north to the village of Fiskars, and the world shifts. Fiskars, yes, the orange-handled scissors, was founded here in 1649. The ironworks still stands. Artists and craftspeople have moved into the old factory buildings, running workshops that produce handmade ceramics, forged knives and woven textiles. The pace here is slow, intentional, rooted in craft rather than speed. And further north still, in Inari, the heart of Sami culture, the tension between modern and traditional is most visible. Sami teenagers use smartphones and watch Netflix. But many also learn traditional joik singing from their grandparents, and some still participate in the annual reindeer roundups that have shaped Sami life for centuries. The Sami parliament, located in Inari, fights to preserve language rights and land access in a country that has not always respected indigenous claims. What makes Finland unusual is that it does not see tradition as the opposite of modernity. It sees them as parallel tracks. You can be a software engineer who spends every July picking cloudberries in Lapland. You can work in artificial intelligence by day and heat your home with a wood-burning stove by night. The Finnish identity does not ask you to choose. It asks you to hold both. And so we arrive at the final question. Finland is dark for half the year. It is cold. It is expensive. The language is nearly impossible to learn as an adult. The taxes are among the highest in the world. So why do people stay? Why, when surveyed year after year, do Finns report themselves as the happiest people on the planet? Part of the answer is practical. Finnish society functions. The trains run on time. The schools are excellent and free all the way through university. Healthcare is universal. Corruption is almost non-existent. The air is among the cleanest in the world. Tap water is purer than bottled water in most countries. When you walk into a Finnish forest and pick a mushroom, you can eat it without washing it. That kind of trust in the environment is earned over generations. But the deeper answer is something less measurable. It is a feeling. On the Åland Islands, an autonomous archipelago between Finland and Sweden, the ferry from the mainland arrives twice a day in winter. The population of the entire island chain is 30,000 people. Life is small, quiet, surrounded by water. And yet, young families are moving here. Not because they are retreating from the world, but because they are choosing a different relationship with it. One built on presence, on simplicity, on the radical idea that less can genuinely be more. On Lake Päijänne, Finland's second largest lake, you will find people who have never lived anywhere else. Generations have fished these waters, built cottages on these shores, taught their children to swim in water that is still cold enough to take your breath away in August. They stay not because they have to, but because leaving would mean losing something essential. The silence, the space, the slow, steady rhythm of a life measured not by accumulation, but by connection, to nature, to family, to self. There is a Finnish word that captures some of this. Sisu. It does not translate neatly. It means grit, but more than grit. Determination in the face of hopeless odds. Resilience that comes from deep inside. The kind of strength you find when you think you have nothing left, and then you discover you have more. Sisu is what kept this nation alive through wars, through famines, through winters so cold that history books struggle to describe them. And Sisu, in a quieter form, is what gets people through the dark months every year. What keeps them here. What makes them, improbably, the happiest people on Earth. As the sun sets over the Helsinki archipelago, the last light catching the granite islands and the still water and the smoke rising from a sauna chimney somewhere on a distant shore, you begin to understand. Happiness in Finland is not about excitement. It is not about pleasure. It is about something deeper. It is about living in a society that treats you with dignity, in a nature that does not lie to you, in a culture that values stillness as much as achievement. It is not a happiness that shouts. It is a happiness that endures. It is the happiness of knowing that you are exactly where you belong. If this way of life speaks to you, if the quiet, the forests, the sauna heat, and the long northern light have stirred something, let us know in the comments with a single word, Sisu, and subscribe to explore more of the world's most extraordinary places with us. Until next time, explore more, worry less.